Look at this. It's cool. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, see that? I'm not even looking.
What is that?
This is my little It's first of all, it's Enemies List branded merch.
Okay, merch.
But it's so you add it on your thing, and it's got like a little knife,
Uh-huh.
and it's got a bottle opener, which what I use to open my bottles here, bottle opener, and
Cool.
it's got a little pair of scissors that I can never get out. But it's like, so it's a little Swiss Army knife, but it's got the Enemies List logo. My friend Greg works for a company that like they put your logo on whatever, like mugs or pens or something.
Yeah.
So one Christmas he got me like a Enemies List pint glass, Enemies List shot glass, Enemies List little keychain thing. It's pretty cool.
I like it.
I like it too. And then it is my bottle opener for the shop.
Excellent.
Excuse me. All right, let's get started. You ready to get started?
I think so.
All right. Let's get into character. Get into character.
Come on.
Now I'm tired. I feel weird. I feel so weird. I'm like sort of sick, but not like my body wants to be sick, but I'm like willpowering my way to not being sick. It's like really weird feeling. Anyway, hello everybody, and welcome to this week's SEO and IPAs. It's the fun weekly hangout about inbound marketing, entrepreneurship, and more for cool people of all shapes, stripes, and colors. As always, I am Daniel Barrett. You're from Two Friendly Nerds. That's TWO, friendlynerds.com, the world's friendliest web design and internet marketing company. And with me, as always, is the brains behind the operation. Officially, the only reason anybody ever watches this show. She has over $1 million in browser cash. It's Patti DeLessio from reinventinteractive.com. Patti, how are you, my wonderful friend?
I'm good. It's always so good to get on and smile with you, Dan. You make my cold, gloomy February day better.
Yeah, February is kind of a shit month, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
It's like you got Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day kind of feels forced to me.
Yep.
And I feel a little bit like I'm being held hostage by Valentine's Day. Because it's like, I don't really care about Valentine's Day. Because I'm like, I don't need a special day. But I feel like we should do something on Valentine's Day. Like, if I don't do something for Valentine's Day, I feel like a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to do something the 13th. November the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Traditionally the luckiest day.
Okay.
What are you doing anything for Valentine's Day? Do you guys do Valentine's Day stuff?
We're pretty lame. I don't know. Kind of. No.
I just feel like you need to love someone to do something on Valentine's Day, and I don't know if I just don't really.
Yeah. Your heart's not in it.
It's not that kind of thing. It's mostly economic.
I don't really do romance. It's just.
It was an arranged marriage. And
No.
Yeah, well, it's tough. It's annoying. So I was gonna book. My wife doesn't watch the show, so it's totally okay to talk about Valentine's Day. I was gonna book. I booked dinner in this town, sort of near here, and they were gonna have like an eco tour, like train ride. There's like a local train, and they're gonna like sort of take through all the winter landscape and stuff. And they have drinks on the train. It's gonna be something different. I was like, I want to do something different, right?
Yeah.
Because we always go out to dinner. I love going out to dinner. We both do, but it's like we always do it.
Right.
So it's like, so this and dinner would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, let's do that. And I realized like that the thing only starts the 14th. So it's like I have the dinner reservation, but not the train thing. And so now I'm looking around. I'm like, I gotta find something to do in that town. I can't really figure it out. I don't know. Maybe I'll just cancel. We'll try to do something a different day.
Don't screw it up, Dan.
I mean, it was sort of up in the air because she was going to have minor surgery, just like minor surgery. It's like outpatient thing, but it was like a couple days before, and we weren't even sure. She was like, I might not want to. She got like recovery time or whatever, so we weren't even sure we're going to do it. But then her doctor got stuck in Canada, so they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
The snow, like she flew to Canada, they wouldn't let her fly back.
Wow.
Yeah, funny. But anyway.
Now I'm kind of glad that we're not getting beat up with all the snow. Boston's getting annihilated, so I'm kind of.
Yeah, it's not even. I heard that it's not even there anymore.
Yeah.
Like, literally decimated. Like 1 out of every 10 people in Boston is dead.
No, stop it. No, but it's seriously like 5-something feet of snow, and they don't know what to do. It's awful.
You can't say a major American city was annihilated.
Stop it. I didn't say.
By snow. They got a lot of snow. Annihilated?
Shut up.
Yeah, someone set off a dirty bomb, and/or they got 3 inches of snow in a day.
Oh, stop it. All right, listen. Let's drink beer.
All right, you go first.
All right. I have something new.
What do you got for us, Patsy?
I have something called. Never had it. About to try it. First time. Let's see. What is it? Nectar.
Nectar IPA.
Nectar IPA. Probably one of my least favorite labels. Not into it.
I was gonna say it's kind of a hippie label.
I don't.
You know, Nectar kind of sounds like the name of a nerd on a sitcom.
Yeah, Hector. Yeah, it's but I'm gonna give it a try. I'm not gonna judge a beer by its label exactly. But anyway, it's Humboldt Brewing Company.
Okay.
These guys are in California, and
I've never seen this beer or heard of the brewery.
Never heard of it either. The husband picked up a mixed 6-pack of IPAs, so I've got some interesting stuff here to try. But it looks very pretty in my little this glass.
Yeah, it's a nice color.
Right? With the sun coming in on it, it's good. I would expect it to be sweet, being called nectar.
Yeah, is it like, does it say that on it? It's like made with honey or something? Or?
No. I did bring up the score because I'm interested. So it's got a...
Oh, yeah, well, I feel like we haven't, like, whipped them out and measured them lately.
Yeah, well, it's a Beer Advocate. They only gave it an 86, but still, that's pretty high. I don't really... no one's talking about it, Dan. I don't see any description. Smells sweet. It's not bad.
Is it sweet?
It's not good.
It's middling. Middling, I think.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah, not. Oh my God! I don't think I've had a true dud on this show. I think this might be terrible.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you just said it wasn't bad, but now you're saying it is bad.
It got worse.
Give it time; it'll get there. What's the matter with it?
It changed. You know, I think the aftertaste is just off. It's just not good. Wow. It smells good. The aftertaste is bad. It's got like a Band-Aid-y kind of thing going on that's kind of not pleasant.
Kind of like coppery? I just feel like Band-Aids remind me of like some sort of metal.
Like plasticky, kind of like adhesive. Yeah. Not good.
Wow.
Wow.
Our first dud.
I might have a hater now. Yeah, this isn't good. I'm not going to drink the rest of the 6-pack.
We should have a rating system.
Yes. How many?
Serps, 10 serps or something like that.
Oh, good one. Okay, this gets a 2 only because the color is nice, the nose is nice. The first flavor isn't horrendous, and then it just gets bad.
So okay, you just gave it a 2. I don't think we did. We did determine what the scale is. How many are there?
I thought you said 10. Didn't you say 10 serps?
Out of 10.
Yeah. So
that's pretty awful. That's a 20%.
It's a pretty lousy beer. Okay, let's show it one more time.
Nectar IPA from Humboldt.
Yep, it's got a weird hummingbird, and yeah, done.
So let me ask you: is it just an acquired taste, or is it literally bad?
I think it's bad. You know, I used to brew, right? I've been drinking beer a long time. This is a bad beer. Yeah, I think it's bad. I'm surprised they gave it an 86. Okay, what do you have?
It's not scored bad.
Now that I've just left my negative mark.
Up some poor independent brewer's spot.
Yes, I've thrown my negativeness out into the web sphere.
Yeah, no problem. I'm into it.
Okay.
I'm constantly throwing my own negativeness into the web sphere. I really like it. We need, all right, well, let's work on the ranking system.
Okay.
Do that.
Go.
I also think, I thought of this the other day, if we ever want to rename this podcast or whatever, we can name it Serps Up. Yeah, think about it.
You're dropping these gems left and right on this show.
You know, I am.
Serps Up. I like
I'm like a gem bag with a hole in the bottom.
You are. There was one the other week that I thought was brilliant. What was it?
I don't remember. I don't remember them. That's not my job. All right, let's talk about my beer, because my beer is excellent. I was really happy with my beer. This is the, let's keep it up on the screen here. Founders
Breakfast.
Black Rye.
Black Rye.
Founders Black Rye, which I bought. I will not apologize. Specifically because I like the black metal font kind of thing they have going on. It's kind of got like the AC/DC
Yep.
kind of font. It is a 7.5% alcohol by volume, dry hopped dark ale brewed with rye. So this is another one, and it's got this really nice dark color. I don't know how well you can see it, but I'm actually drank a couple of these. So I bought a 6-pack of these already, and I really, really like it. So one of the things with me is, I like the darker beers, right? But darker beers can be really heavy a lot of the time. I like porters, but sometimes the kind of like metally taste of a porter sometimes sort of throws me off. I don't know if that's how you would describe it, but there's sort of this like metallic kind of thing here going on. And I like rye, but it's not my favorite. So a lot of beers have like a lot of rye in them. I kind of like not huge on. This is like, it's like the perfect balance. It's really great because it's dark. It's got that nice dark caramelly thing going on. You taste the rye in there. There's a hop, so it finishes hoppy, not like super heavy.
Yeah.
So it feels much lighter. It's like you could drink 2 of these instead of like the palate wrecker I had last week. It's like, man, it's like one of those. I was just drinking one of those the other night. It's like I barely got through it before I had to go to bed. I was like working on that for like 3 hours. This is super intense, right? It's like it's quite the ride, and that's good. It's like it's interesting. It's fun. It's a nice sipping beer. This you could actually drink a couple if you wanted before the end of the night. So it's much more drinkable. It's just a really solid beer.
What's the alcohol? Is it like a 5 or 6?
7.5.
Oh, 7. Okay.
So it's got the alcohol content in it. If you
Okay.
want to get buzzed, you're on your way to getting buzzed.
All right.
It's just really good. I really liked it. It does have a little bit of that. Again, I always think of it as like metally undertone that you get from porters. But I dig it. It's like right down the middle of all those different kind of beer styles.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it if you haven't had it. That's the Founders Ale Black Rye.
Yes.
It has on Beer Advocate I believe a 90. A 90.
Nice.
Outstanding. The Bros rated a 91.
Nice.
And very, very good. Very high quality stuff. Way into it.
Good.
Yeah. This is bottled in 2014. That was a good year.
It's fresh. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm into it. So let's talk about stuff.
Yes.
As we like to say about SEO. So this week's article was suggested to us by Anthony via online, which we appreciate. Anthony, are probably the only person that watches this show, I would say. Well, 1 of 5, maybe, but awesome dude. He recommended this article, which I can pull up for you guys right here.
Yeah.
And it's called The 4 Online Marketing Metrics to Obsess About. Now, this is sort of a topic that we've covered before, but slightly different take on this issue. And really what we're getting at is like, we all know you're supposed to take data. We all know there are metrics for websites. Everyone says you got to set up your analytics, and you got to do this, you got to do that. But when it comes down to it, right, there's always going to be diminishing returns. If you are not an SEO professional, right, if you are just a person running a business, trying to improve your ranking, you cannot wade into this sea of data every week. It's just not realistic, right? This is not going to happen that way. You're not going to spend 5 hours in analytics trying to pull out 1 or 2 usable pieces of information you can use to grow your business, grow your audience, grow your following, whatever it is. So it's all about where you focus. So right now this article is all about where you focus. It says there's 4 online marketing metrics. One of the interesting things to take away from this article, I thought just right off the bat, he says traffic, which is what most people look at. Traffic as a metric is a vanity metric. Traffic doesn't matter in the way that many people think it matters. Because in most people's heads, the equation looks like if I can just grow my traffic, I'm going to grow my business, I'm going to grow my profit, I'm going to grow my blah, 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 whatever it is. My wife will love me again. I'll be able to talk to my estranged son if I can only get my traffic up. So,
Yep.
But that's not necessarily the case. So let's use that as a jumping off point.
Okay.
So, Patti, why don't you dig into that? Like, why is traffic not matter? Because that seems like a relatively easy thing to focus on. It's like, okay, if I got 10 people on my website this week, if I double the amount of people or triple the amount of people on my website next week, then I'm going to get 20 or 30 people signed up. Isn't that the case? So why is that not the case?
Well, he says, and I think, the big valuable part of this article I felt was right in the beginning, where he's explaining why this doesn't matter as much. And he says, traffic alone will not create an audience who loves your business, right? It's not targeted traffic. It's just traffic. It's, if you can get anybody to walk through the door, that doesn't grow your business or grow your sales or grow your customers. Getting the right traffic to walk through the door is how you improve that. So I just thought it was it was a nice statement. And you and I, you're right. We talk about this quite a bit. But he also says, just to quote the article, he says, place your focus in just one place, nurturing a truly loyal audience by running your business in a way that demonstrates mutual respect, gratitude, and enduring trust. I thought that was lovely. And that's where he talks about, make it about love, dare I say, make it about love. But, that just speaks to getting the right people to love your business and love what you do, and then they'll talk about it and share it with their friends, and that's how you kind of grow like a real base, right? I don't want just anybody, I want the right somebody to come to my website.
Right. It sort of almost reminded me of the Groupon effect.
Yeah.
Where, a company will put up a Groupon and they'll get a bunch of people in the door and they'll actually go out of business serving these people that then never come back, right? But
he also says, sorry, just real quick, he also says that, he lived this through an example, which was that one of his blog posts got picked up by Guy Kawasaki, and he got a ton of traffic over a weekend, but literally, no conversions, no opt-ins to his list, nothing really came of it. It was just a, flash in the pan. So, he's saying, I know this by example. A lot of traffic doesn't mean.
Guy Kawasaki wrote the famous Rich Dad, Dead Dad. Right? Rich Dad, Dead Dad.
Rich Dad, Dead Dad.
My other option for making fun of Guy Kawasaki was to say Dick Dad, Poor Dad. It's Rich and Dick. I think that was probably better. Anyway, but yeah, so totally. So and it's funny. I saw somebody talk. I think I saw somebody talk that said that they were the rich dad. He's like, oh yeah, I'm his rich dad, but there's obviously not his dad. But he's like, oh, that's me in that book. And I'm like, there's no way that's true. All that stuff's made up. I always feel that way. But anyway, so let me break this. Oh yeah, so he posts a thing. Guy Kawasaki blows him up. That dude has more people following him than are in the live in Pakistan, right? So
not following, just landed on his website, right?
Oh no, Guy Kawasaki has the follow.
Oh, yeah.
So Guy Kawasaki posts this thing. Everybody goes to this website.
Yeah.
There's so much traffic on this website. Yeah, bandwidth's going in and out. It's like, yeah, bandwidth. But end of the day, he didn't get any new subscribers. The next week, everything was back to normal. It's like in the movie where you have the high school party and the parents are gone, and then the kid wakes up and everybody's gone. He's got a headache and his parents' house is trashed. Okay, so that's all well and good. Okay, so it's not traffic. I get it. It's not traffic. But I can't. There's no love dial in Google Analytics.
Right. There's not.
So what do I measure instead? I mean, it's one thing to be like, it's all got to be about love, man. You got to just love your clients. And I'm like, great, I love them.
And here's
Now what the F do I do about it?
yeah, okay. So there's a distinction to be made.
And it's not. We're not saying love, love. We're just saying like love, not love, love.
Right.
Is that the distinction you mean? I don't want it to be weird.
I love you. I'm just not in love with you. Is that the?
It's not me. It's you. It's not me. It's you. And I'm just not ready for you to be my client right now.
So listen. So this is different than influencer marketing, right? Because you and I are both big fans of the idea of influencer marketing. So what's different here is that I guess Guy found his blog and just shared the blog. That's different than this guy writes a great blog. You should subscribe. You should buy his this thing. You know what I mean? Like so it's a little bit, right? Would you?
But are you expecting people to do that when you're sharing your? If you have an influencer sharing your content, are you expecting them to be like? You expect them to share it, not to be like, you need to go to this content and then sign up for this blah blah blah.
Then okay, hands are up. We're all trying to get those influencers to share our content and vet us into their market, right? So I don't know. It's a little bit confusing then to say, yeah, well, it drove a bunch of traffic, but it wasn't worthwhile. One would think that a certain percentage of that traffic should have converted. So I'm
so maybe
what else he's doing wrong.
Yeah, well, and he doesn't talk about the background of what he's doing,
right.
But it's totally so. Guy Kawasaki is a huge audience.
Huge, right?
And so it's totally possible that, like, Guy Kawasaki says this is cool, right? But I think too, part of it is, so there's ways you can maximize the effect of the traffic, right? There's all sorts of stuff that's like, okay, you use a landing page that's specific for that source, right? Or you do, which is very common now, or at least I'm seeing it all over, where the opt-in for that article is specific to the article. So here's the article about this thing. You can opt in to get the spreadsheet to help you do the thing, and then you can put that person in some sort of nurture campaign.
Right.
There's all sorts of stuff. But the point's well taken. It's not just the traffic. Just getting a lot of traffic is not going to solve things.
He might have done something else wrong. Maybe he didn't have you or I on his team anticipating this from Guy. I don't know. No,
well, I was on his team.
You were? Oh, okay, right. Okay.
He paid a lot of money, and I am doing a horrible job.
Are you?
So, but here's the thing. So he's saying, okay, you got it. It's about building an audience that loves you. I get it.
I get it.
So what are the things that he says we should be tracking? Because again, it's always about, it's easy to say, and I'm not saying you do this, but I think this is very common in SEO in general. It's so easy to say, like, you got to build your authority, you got to build your audience, but it's like, okay, well, what do I actually do, right? So if we're talking about analytics, what do I actually watch to gauge if I'm even doing that or to help me do that?
Right. Well, he mentions the 4 things that you should be watching. That is not how many times people have hit your site, right? And I would argue that they are all one thing, which is engagement. So he says you measure return visitors, you measure time on site, which is a little bit of a wonky metric to measure. We've talked about that before and why. Social shares.
That for a second, because time on site's easy for most people to understand. How much time do people in general spend on your site? Why is that wonky or hard to track?
Well, I think something like a page view is more exact as far as data goes or metric goes. I feel that time on site is someone can come to your site, they could click on something to then trigger this kind of time on site idea, and then kind of, walk off, go to another tab. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's not as literal as it sounds. It's not
brutally murdered.
Yeah, it's not precisely how long somebody spent on time. And again, a lot of this data is, you have to kind of understand how it's captured to really know what its value is. But I tell my clients that you should watch it over time, right? So over the course of several months, if you see a trend going either up or down, kind of pay attention to that, but don't take it for face value what time on site means. But yeah, so return visitors, time on site, social shares, right? How many likes and thumbs up and stuff you're getting, and then conversions, which is not exactly engagement, but I would say the first 3 would fall under engagement. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I agree. Like engagement as a concept, I think it's like the problem with engagement as a concept is it's actual utility is limited.
Yeah.
Because again, it's like there's no number in Google Plus that says engagement, but there probably should be.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can make some algorithm where you multiply all these things together, right? And you can break them apart, put them together. But for me, it's like, and I think that's partially just my personality of like break it into the things, the individual things which are actually trackable, right? But I totally get what you're saying. It's like when you're sitting down and thinking about actions meant to promote your stuff or, you know, interact with your audience, asking this question like, what's going to get people engaged with it, interact with it? You know, I was thinking about, it's actually a friend of mine and a client, is this guy, Anthony Fantano, that does this YouTube channel or YouTube show called The Needle Drop.
Uh-huh.
And he's like a full-time music reviewer critic on YouTube. That's his job now.
Okay.
He's really, really popular YouTube channel and tens of thousands of things a day or whatever, right? And he is always very careful. If you watch his videos, he always says at the end of the review, and he's like, okay, you know, that's the review for this. What did you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Right? And that's an annoying siren. So it's like, you know, it's like, did you like it? Did you hate it? And what should I review next?
Uh-huh.
So like, leave it in the comments, right?
Yeah.
And so the comments go crazy because people are posting any one of those things and then interacting with each other.
Right.
So, you know, that's the idea of like driving that engagement, not thinking about it in terms of metrics, but if you're going to track that, right? If I'm setting out to track how effective that is, I can't track just like engagement as a number. It's just an abstract concept. So instead I have to say like, okay, what's the number of comments? What's the frequency of re-commenting or, you know, replying to other comments or whatever, and I can try to drive those up. Right. So I totally take your point.
Yeah, because that, I mean,
right, broken out, I think.
Yeah, that speaks to loyalty, right? That speaks to these are individuals that will come back, right? A return visitor likes you enough to return back to your site. It's somebody that cares enough to not only just comment but read the other comments and re-comment or share, or, you know, it's those actions that we can measure very clearly and, you know, kind of grow over time. I think it's terrific. Now, also, I don't know. I would argue, depending on what you're sharing, depending on what's on what that interaction and engagement is, even some of that, maybe you're not using that engagement to benefit your business and grow your business and increase clients or increase sales, right? It's also what you do with that. I mean, I have a client who just had a Facebook post go super, super viral. Like, it's got a whole ton of shares. It has over 2 million impressions. Like, it's just it's one of their best posts.
What's the post, by the way?
It's a little bit interesting. Hold on, I'll bring it up. It's
9 things you didn't know about tits and vaginas.
No, it's 2 stick figures shaking hands, and it says, "You meet people for a reason. They are either a blessing or a lesson." And the site targets mostly women, I would say, like a large proportion of women.
Oh, I can already tell.
That's right. So my thought is that it's being shared as kind of like a little, you know.
Or you gotta share it to your friend and be like, "You're the second one."
Right. Exactly. It's a little bit. But here's the thing: is that message on brand enough? Like, okay, it's one thing for it to have gone viral and to have been, you know, reached a whole lot of people, but is it improving your brands? Is it improving your sales? Is it improving, you know, hits to your website? Is it increasing opt-ins? You know, I would argue it's probably not. I mean, it's, you know, a little bit.
It probably is boosting her overall SEO kind of rankings and stuff, right?
It'll definitely get you closer to those, you know, to the Facebook gods that, you know.
PageRank or whatever.
Well, yeah, and you know, they're funky with your business pages now, right? Like what they show.
Oh, it's primarily on Facebook?
Yeah.
So you don't think you're getting backlinks, or you're building backlinks with that?
It's I don't know what it's doing. It has a ton of shares, a ton of comments, and
When you say I don't know what it's doing, you're like kind of looking down like this, and I'm picturing
I'm starting.
like a little glass case, and there's like a turtle in it. You know?
I don't know what
Kind of
it's
like turning back and forth. Like, I don't know what it's doing. Do you think it's sick? And it's like, nah, nah. And you're like, I think it might.
Oh, stop it! No, what I mean is I don't know what it's doing for the brand. It's not necessarily, I'm not drawing exact lines between this particular viral idea and a brand message or brand value or it certainly has engagement. So I'm not really sure what I'm saying. I'm kind of being the contrarian today.
No, it's okay. Well,
a position.
You know what I hate?
Tell me.
I hate the word viral.
Oh, ouch. It's like
viral. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not I'm saying with you, but like just in general, like every time it's like, I want it to go viral.
Yeah. And
I'm like, it just doesn't mean anything to me. What does that mean? Are we talking like the kid that bites the finger? It's like, anyway, that's a whole other thing we can get into, and it's already past 12:30. So if you tuned in halfway through and you missed the first half of this episode, it was a doozy. I got punched in the face. Patty's dog went nuts. All sorts of crazy stuff happened. Anyway, if you wanted to check that out, you can go to YouTube and search for SEO and IPA tomorrow. The video will this be up, or you can go to twofriendlynerds.com/hangout. We are working on an SEO and IPA website. I swear to God. Oh, there's the doggy. There's the little doggy. Little doggy. What a cutie pie.
Office dog. Got his winter beard on, like you do, by the way.
Yeah. Winter beard is a big deal. But yeah, so check us out. We'll be back next week, Wednesday, noon Eastern Standard Time, same bad channel. Obviously, Patti DeLis here from Reinvent Interactive. Thank you, as always. You are always amazing and is always appreciated. And to all of our friends, especially Anthony, who suggested this week's article, we desperately, desperately appreciate it. And if you want to suggest an article for us to check out, or if you have questions you want us to answer on the air, just tweet at us. I'm at 2friendlynerds. That's the number 2, Friendly Nerds. And Patti is at SEO Patti. That's SEO Patti with an I at the end. And as always, everybody, please optimize responsibly.
Optimize responsibly.
Optimize?
Optimize. Do I have to drink it?
No. Yeah, you do. Drink it.
Sorry, guys.
No beer is bad beer.
Sorry, Humboldt. No, some beer is bad.
Some beer is bad beer. That's one of our mottos. Some is bad.
All
right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye, Dan.